Sawadee-ka. Namaste, beloved brothers and sisters. It is my hope that all of your homes may always be filled with heavenly fortune and grace. I'm great, thank you very much. Today, I would like to speak to you about ancestor liberation and blessing family relationships to enhance your understanding of CheonBo Providence. Although this is already a familiar subject for our brothers and sisters, most of the time we don't think about the importance of CheonBo Providence as we live our life until we encounter a difficult problem. True parents told us that blessing our ancestors is part of our mission as tribal messiahs. All members of the unification family throughout the world should be registered in CheonBo 1 through completion of ancestor liberation and blessing of 430 generation by Foundation Day 2020. That's right. In order for us who are blessed families to become CheonBo families and be registered in CheonBo 1, we must liberate and bless our ancestors up to 430 generations. True Mother has extended the period until the 2021 Songa Festival. CheonBo walks are the way that we can rescue the spirit of the dead from hell and restore the spirit world. Please give a round of applause to true parents who have completed amazing works that no one else can do and have given us the amazing grace of being able to liberate and bless our ancestors. 감사합니다. Thank you very much. Think about what you do when you have a very tangled bundle of thread. Brothers and sisters, how can you loosen up such a big tangles? If you start to pull on the thread without thinking carefully, you might pull the wrong strand. And the force of your pull will make the tangle even worse. Cutting with the scissors is not an option because if thread is cut into short pieces, we can't use it anymore. Thinking back on your fast, we can see that we have spent a lot of time in conflict with each other, tangled up like a thread. If we concentrate on the thread, there is something we can learn from it. To untangle the thread, you first have to move around and look at the tangle from several different angles. At the same time, it is important to maintain a reasonable distance to get a clear view how to untangle it. In order to solve the problem, we need some psychological and practical space. Next, you have to take into consideration what you have observed while looking at the tangle from different angles. You have untangled the thread step by step without cutting the tangled part. What you have to do is not cut the thread, but untie it. There are many cases where couples divorce without resolving their conflict, but that isn't real solution. And we cannot turn away from our ancestors and leave them behind. Respected family members, ancestor liberation is an amazing work to solve the complex problems of our ancestors. Today is a historic day when we can bless our ancestors up to 430 generations. We are blessing those ancestors who we have liberated through the Chanang session and who have completed the 100-day workshop at the training center in Spirit World. Through this ancestor liberation ceremony, we are able to liberate and cleanse our fathers and mothers' lineage. And when we include the lineage of our father, mother, father's grandmother, and mother's grandmother, we are now able to liberate 4 lines of our ancestors. We are here as blessed families who have offered vertical indemnity condition to bear fruit in the providence of horizontal restoration through indemnity. We have inherited a complex set of elements from our ancestors, including lifestyle. We were directly influenced by our father, mother, and our paternal and maternal grandparents. Consider how each of them affected you specifically. If you take the time to think through this question, write down your note and summarize them. It will help you to move in the right direction. We have all been influenced by our ancestors in both positive and negative ways. Which has affected us more? It's not easy for us to accept, but true parents have said that there are evil spirits stuck in our bodies. They have told us that the evil spirit from huge spirituality in our bodies. Since all kinds of people are gathered together in the spiritual world, including those who killed and those who were killed. Sometimes such things as knife fighter and banditers break out there. Wow. We human beings do not become adults right after we are born. We have to go through a step-by-step process of development as we grow. The roles of our parents is very important when we are young children. When we are young, it is important for us to form an attachment based on relation of love with our parents. Then as time goes by, we explore our surroundings and build our own individual identity. As mentioned in the unification principle, our goal as we grow is to develop into mature beings, that is, individual embodiment of truth. Unfortunately, after the fall of Adam, the first ancestor of humankind, there have been no human beings who have completed the process of maturity. Even every one of us has grown up under the influence of incomplete parents. Naturally, as children, we support both large and small wounds from our parents, and these become internalized within ourselves. As we become adults, we have not been able to solve all of our children's wounds. We don't know what to do with those wounds. To summarize briefly, we were influenced positively and negatively by our parents, from personality to lifestyle, right? Our life today are the outcome of our past life. The influence of our ancestors has been passed down to us and will continue through us to our descendants, like a line connecting our ancestor, like it was connecting a maze of thought. Also, we receive good and bad influence from the people who are close to us, the people we have a relationship with and who we meet face to face every day. The door to blessing opens as we turn our life around and begin to walk on a new path. As you all know, the more our long and simple habits disappear, through the grace of Heavenly Parents will come to use, and the dreams of true parents will begin to come true. Therefore, we should be determined to make a start by turning our lives around. How can we cut off the negative inheritance of your ancestors? We must clearly recognize the work which remains for us is never something easy. We have a lot of thoughts embedded in our unconscious mind from our experience with our parents and the various things we have experienced during our growth process. Many of these were formed in childhood, but as we become adult, they still affect many of our activities. Study shows that these embedded experiences have a significant impact on the process of choosing a spouse, and that the influence of parents on married couples is a significant factor in their lives. This internalized mental image of our parents can be called our imago. Imago means an image which is located in the deepest part of our heart. We have both positive and negative image of people who raised us and cared for us as children, which are stored in our unconscious mind. Life is happy only when one's wife is happy. 아주? Dr. Javier Hendricks has told us that 90% of marital conflict are deeply related to the family circumstance or injuries we received from our parents when we were young. And the husband and wife have the potential to revert to their inner child when each of them are feeling hurt. What should we do if our marital relationship is strained? Shouldn't we try to understand, acknowledge, and heal our spouse's wounds while cleaning the pains that we inherit from our ancestors through ancestor liberation and blessing, right? When we do that, our spouse's hearts are comfortable and healed, and we can also grow up ourselves. We must strive for a stable and sound relationship. We should be interested in the growth of your spouse, and we must get rid of blame, disregard, contempt, and barriers between each other. 아주? Thank you. Growth is the creation of intimacy, understanding, and passion in a way that benefit each other through dialogue that reach out to touch our partner where they are. Therefore, it is important to listen to other members of our family, then acknowledge and understand them so that we can build good family relationship. Through this kind of process, we will be able to move on to the level where we can resonate with each other in our 심정 and feeling. 아주? There is saying in Matthew chapter 1, page 1, in the beginning was the Word. This raised the previous step. What it must be doing from the beginning is listening. We must keep this in mind. Finally, I would like to introduce to you a good method that makes the person you are talking to feel that you are hearing what they say. We do this by listening sincerely to the other person's story, agreeing enthusiastically, making frequent eye contact, and nodding our head, and trying to use the phrase, "Oh, I see," often rather than rushing to say, "No, this is what I think." You should start first with something to agree with, such as, "Shall we do it together?" "Oh, I see." You should remember, good practice makes perfect. 아주, conversation is a practical skill that requires a training process. The starting point is learning proper conversation skill. And as we continue, this eventually leads us a new way of life. We have to change the small act of choosing our thought and action. We have to have a good habit to live a good life. Habits are made by repeating small actions. If you change your mind, your behavior will be changed, your daily life will change, and eventually your habit will change and your life will be changed. 아주? If we keep trying to and don't give up, we will absolutely achieve the victory. It is the end of the year. As we are all heavenly traveler messiahs, I hope you will take good care of your neighbors, and above all, I hope that all of you will be filled with true parents, love, and joy. I love you, brothers and sisters. Thank you very much. 가끔마카 감사합니다.